Welcome back to episode 43. I'm PB Plumber, standing in for Mark Tiff.
I was going to say you're his body double then, but you're better than that. And we've got two new guests on tonight, Pete.
Let me just get this out of the way, because last time I was here, rudely, no one drew attention to my medals.
Oh, right.
So I don't want to be clinking.
He's making it all about himself.
So that was, for those of you who care, Lisbon Marathon in Portugal last weekend. It was a good one.
How many miles?
33 degrees temperature that was. And and then I also did Warsaw Marathon.
I thought you were going to say Warsaw. I was like, there's nothing to shout about, mate.
Well done.
And it actually looks cool, to be fair.
It's a good one. That's meant to be like a ribbon design.
How many marathons have you run now?
7. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't be doing that. I mean, you've obviously not been on your knees enough, Pete, to warrant them.
The boring thing
Stop whacking
is
sorry, mate.
the more I run, the better my knees get, the stronger my knees get. So
You
when
keep
these
telling
people
yourself
say,
that, mate, yeah.
I can't run because of my knees, it's an excuse not to run, basically. So.
Is that clickbait?
That's my excuse, that is. I told him, I said, I can't run
excuse.
anymore because my knees are shot.
So yeah, I've been off running marathons while Mark Tiff's been sat on his arse. Yeah.
Whoever he is has broken the seat anyway, so mentioning no names, mate.
Oh, really?
So we've got Tyson and Pete. Looking forward to the show.
Absolutely.
I thought you were going to say
Yep,
Tyson and Mike then.
Mike Tyson.
Oh, he's brought it up, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You was named after him, weren't you?
Yeah, I was
Were
actually.
you?
I said to him.
Tyson Fury was as well, wasn't it?
I said to him when I first met him, was you named after Mike Tyson? He went, of course I was.
I wasn't named after a dog.
Well, I'll be honest, there's worse people you could be named after, isn't it?
Is Tyson Fury named after Mike Tyson?
Yeah, he is.
I think it's a badass name, isn't it?
Hmm?
He was the best boxer of the world.
Yeah, dog's a name as well. So when I was younger, I'd be in the park and everyone would go, Tyson, get back here. And I'm turning around, I'm like,
People actually call the dogs Tyson.
yeah,
They do
Tyson,
around Arlo,
Bruno.
mate.
Yeah.
Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno, Tyson, Rocky.
Would it be a boxer dog by any chance?
Oh no.
Please, I'll do jokes.
I can't bet at that one.
Give him a
Sorry.
bosh. Give him a bosh for that, mate. Bash.
Oh, wow. That sounds like Ryan.
He's Roy Davis. Bash. We got him as a sound effect now. So,
Right.
who do you want to get into first?
We'll do the usual drill. So, just for people that don't know how you got into the industry, if it's an interesting story, great. If it's not, try and speed it up a bit. Most of us did an apprenticeship, but if you've got anything where you think other people benefit from hearing, it's great to hear it, especially if you had a tough time or you came into the industry slightly different to the normal route. So, we'll start with you, Tyson.
Right. This is always feels a bit weird because I got a headset on and I can hear my voice and it sounds kind of crazy and stuff. So I used to be a rude boy, and then basically, so I started off as a carpenter. So I started doing carpentry, blah blah blah. Anyway, ended up building sites, and then plumbing looked a lot easier because my brother-in-law did it.
Is this straight out of school, carpentry?
No, so from school I went straight to prison, and then after that, that's it really. No, I went straight to college.
These two are going to be trouble, aren't they?
I went straight to college. Got to do the stereotype. No, I went straight to college basically after school, but I was working in between with a Greek carpenter. He looks like
Hello.
Marco, yeah. So I worked with him doing carpentry, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then as I got to about 19, 20, I met my missus, and then I met her brother. And even though he used to throw the work in, he was the best plumber I know. So like knowledge-wise, he had but just neatness, it wasn't there. So anyway, that's how I got into plumbing, etc., etc. The tough bit about getting into the construction industry is the bit that I wanted to talk about was the racism within the construction industry. And if you don't mind me talking about it,
No, go for
it's
it.
gone a bit serious here now.
Is it a big thing?
Yeah, it's rife. So I had to change my name. My name was Tony, and I was a gazer. So on my CV, my name was Tony, which is my middle name.
What? So you had to change it from Tyson to Tony?
To Tony, I'm not a victim, by the way, so I'm not saying this is like as if I'm an actual victim. But yeah, if you wanted back then, this is not now. I don't know about now so much, but back then.
So what time is this?
This is when I was like 19. So this was when.
Early 2000s?
Yeah. So like early 2000s. And this was like, you're just working with loads of different types of people and you're trying to crack a market where I didn't know anyone. So what I mean by that is like I came from a council estate where everyone sold drugs and no one was in the construction industry at all. So I came from that and tried to crack it. And most of my family, so my white family, so I'm mixed race, so I'm half white, half black. None of them are around in that area. And then on my black side of the family, no one's in the construction industry. It's completely different. So I'm trying to crack that and try and get into it and get into the lingo and be part of the sort of culture, if you like, of it.
Why do you think that is then in sort of like, obviously coming from a black background, nobody wants to go into trades? Is it just that it's not offered to you? Is it not?
Well, first of all, my family laughed at me when I was like, oh, what, so you're going to be a builder then, mate? Like, that's what they used to say. I used to go out to my nan's house. Yeah. So this is the black side of my family. Used to be like, oh, you're going to be a geezer? Like, and laugh at the fact that I wanted to do that because it was a bit of a white thing to do, or Irish or whatever. But for me, I just want to get on site and do stuff with my hands. I'm good with my hands, you know what I mean? Academically, I was terrible. But so there was, and I think the first guy I used to work with was Greek. And then you had racism from Greek people to everyone else as well. It's just like, it's a weird cycle how it goes. But there's one guy I know in particular, and for him to crack and get into this big company, he had to change his name completely. So when I was talking to him, it was like as if it's normal. But is it normal? Is it normal to do that? I don't know about nowadays, but
I actually worked, I think it was in a call centre.
Yeah.
And there was some Asian guys that worked with me.
Yeah.
They actually, because the name was, I don't know, like Mohammed Tariq.
Yeah, yeah.
Or something
That's
like
it.
that.
This is it.
They were called John.
This is it.
John Durlow or something on the phone.
This
which
is it.
at the time, that never sort of dawned on me why people were doing that.
Yeah, yeah. It wouldn't because like I say, this guy in particular, he was putting his CV out. I think let's say his name was Mohammed or something like that, right? He was putting his CV out, wasn't getting no jobs for 3 weeks straight. Then he just changed his name, right, to something more generic. I won't say his name because, and he got a job. No. That quick. Do you know what I'm saying? That quick. So and this is more recent times, if that makes sense. Right. So there's a struggle coming up through. So it's just opening doors. But I don't think that's down to actual racism. I think that's down to just what people are familiar with. Do you know what I'm saying? So you're not going to get that diversity with it. So it's quite hard to crack, you know, if you've got no links or nothing to be able to get into it. But now what I'm seeing is Eastern Europeans being racist on site to everyone else, because a lot of them are on building sites now, if that makes sense. So it's mad how it works. But I'm just saying, to crack it, you can't have a chip on your shoulder and look for an excuse. You just got to go for it. Do you know what I mean? You've just got to go for it, because I see a lot of people making up excuses as to why they can't do this and that because of their colour. No one likes me because of my colour, this, that. I see both sides. So, because I've got white family and I've got black family, and I see both sides of the coin. And I know what you've got to do to crack and get into what you just got to be good at your job and be consistent.
It's similar to
Shiro came on.
Uncle.
That's it. Uncle. Yeah, exactly.
He said something similar. He said his family almost laughed at him.
Yeah, that's it.
The career
he wasn't a doctor.
That's it. Yeah.
But I can't see why anyone would not want to employ a person of colour for a trade job.
Yeah.
It's a bit like women in trades as well. That's like frowned upon as well, isn't it? I mean, imagine obviously what you're saying, being a woman of colour trying to get into a trade. Then now, I mean, so.
But I think the women in trade is different, because the women in trade thing is because it is a male-dominated job, and it has been for hundreds of years. But a trade. So what happens in Africa?
Yeah, I was about to say that when you went.
Do they ship a load of white guys to do the trades?
Yeah,
they don't. Yeah. Wherever you live, wherever you come from,
this is it.
You're going to need a plumber. You're going to need a carpenter.
Yeah.
So the people that are indigenous to that country or continent are going to be the tradespeople.
Yeah.
So why would we assume that they couldn't do it in a country that's predominantly white? Don't understand.
But then it's cracking it. The problem is breaking the mold and cracking it, because as a company, if certain clients you feel, like especially old school clients, feel uncomfortable about Abdul being in their house, are you going to employ Abdul to come and do some work with you when he's in the house? And some of the clients, I can see it, I've had it. I say this out of experience. I had a guy called Abdul that worked for me, and there was one client in particular, she was like, who's this man in my house? Who's this dark man in my house, sort of thing? So it happens, but no one ever speaks about it. That's why I thought today would be great.
Who then suggested? Did somebody suggest to you to change your name?
No one did. No, I just realised out of experience what I needed to do to try and crack it. I can make excuses and blame everyone else and say, oh, you know, it's this and that. No, mate, just get in there, get it done, and actually get yourself known. In fact, it makes me want to prove a point more to the people that are out there, because there's no role models. Listen, the only person I've seen online, social media wise, is Kenny Boy, you know, the Tyler, right?
Yeah,
doing bits, right? I haven't seen anyone else like physically in the construction industry. I don't look at day to day that I see their work and I go, oh, that's brilliant work. There's no sort of like role models in that sense, because I feel like too many people are scared to put themselves out there.
So what do you think then needs to be done to encourage, like, because we talk about obviously in schools, it was never offered to me. I was pretty similar, so academic wise I wasn't bad, but I wasn't great. But the only thing they said to me careers wise was, oh, stick you in the army.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? If somebody said to me, actually, here's a spark, or here's a plumber, or here's a carpenter, go and talk to them and see the types of things that you can do, I'd probably be like, well, actually, I get to work my hands, I'm on a different job every day doing different work. I'd go into that. So I don't know whether it's that you've got to go into schools and try and push it. But
I think it's just, it needs to be more of a visual thing. A lot of the corporate companies, big companies that are doing the deals with the tools, things like that, you never really see anyone black or something like that holding the tool, showing it off in a good way. You just see pure white people doing that. So from someone young and they're staring at that, it just looks like an intimidating white industry, if that makes sense.
If you say you don't see that many tradespeople putting themselves out there, then the companies haven't got
access.
So
100%.
It all sort of...
And the thing is, it's not even just a black thing, it's the foreign thing, basically. Examples and role models, like Chigs, Indian, they're all thinking they have to be doctors and things like that. Well, why can't you be a tradesman? What's wrong with it? What's wrong with being a tradesman? You know what I mean? I accept who I am and what I do. I'm fine with that. You know what I mean?
Has your family accepted it a bit more as well now?
Yeah, just to be honest with you, it was more of a banter thing back in the day. But then they're laughing and stuff. But then you're sort of thinking, actually, I'm young and I'm thinking, should I be doing this? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, should I be doing this?
Any of the other members of the family thought, well, I've seen that you've done it and you've done well out of it. Or...
Well, do you know what? Social media wise, but not the actual trade, because they're thinking, unblock a toilet, bend the pipe. Like, what? What do you mean? Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not really been that. Do you know what I'm saying? But like, I just wanted to make people aware of it. So bigger companies and people that might actually be watching the show to go for it. There's nothing to hold you back. Be who you want to be. Do you know what I'm saying? Just keep pushing through. Do you know what I'm saying? And break the stereotype. Because the stereotype is Top Boy. If you're watching Top Boy and you've got no one in your area and you're watching the series and you're just looking at that thinking, that's what all these people do. And it's kind of right in certain places in London, because that is how it is. My old estate was exactly the same. But it's not like that for everyone. You know what I'm saying? You can get out there. You know?
Yeah, I mean, the other thing as well is, like, I always find that schools don't ever reach out to people to see what they're doing now, to then get some of these people back. To actually offer career advice, because you know, you go to school, and no disrespect, if you're not interested in like books and like learning bollocks that you're never going to really probably use again, like Pythagoras theorem. Like you want to be interested in something else. Why don't they get people back to
and the thing that you could do, which would be great, because if you go into let's say your primary school or your secondary school invites you about, this is Tyson, he's doing really well as a plumber or gas engineer. But if you said he's also got a YouTube channel, their ears are going to prick up. And that might be the route in to get these kids interested in a trade.
To see,
Because I've got a trade, I can do all these amazing things, I can build this, I can fix that.
Well, also, they can go and watch you after you've done a talk.
And I'm a YouTuber.
Watch your videos.
I've got all these followers, and that's what's going to get them engaged.
Get the momentum,
I know my nephew's always like on my YouTube. He's obsessed. He wants a YouTube channel.
Doesn't know what job he wants to be a YouTuber, doesn't he?
He wants to be a YouTuber.
I bet if you ask most kids now what you want to be,
it's YouTube.
An influencer.
Yeah, definitely, without that.
But it's what they're doing for females in the trades to get females. They're just pushing females everywhere.
Visuals.
So that's what you need.
This is what I'm saying. So it's weird because, again, for me, I'm not on any side or anything. I'm just me, right? So I don't see myself as black, white, nothing. I'm mixed race, right? So I'm both. But I don't see it as that. So on my family side, I remember my uncles used to say to me, so like, who do you hang about with more? Like, who's your people sort of thing? And I'm like, Well, I've got Greek mates, white mates, Indian mates, black mates. None of that matters. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm just me. So within the industry, within the construction industry, it should be the same. It doesn't really matter. It should be on skill based. And I know a lot of recruitment places are now not even taking genders into thing or nationalities or anything like that. They just want a CV with their skill set. So they're not to make it more diverse, you know, that sort of thing. So it's more that type of thing is what needs to be pushed more. And I feel like I say, it's a good platform to just let people know.
I think in the corporate world, it's been pushed more now, like diversity
and
inclusion.
Definitely,
but I feel like trades it always takes about another 10 years to sort of
100%.
catch up with. 100%.
Yeah. Do you think in this day and age that a person of colour or an ethnic minority could go to a job and the customer think, I don't want them in my house?
Yeah, definitely. 100%, yeah. Sometimes I've turned up to jobs and because I use social media, people know me now, right? But before, when I turned up to certain jobs, they were like, are you...
That just seems crazy to me.
Yeah, I know, but this is it. It's like, is this you sort of thing? Like, it's like, I'm the person you spoke to on the phone. Yeah, it's me. Yeah. This is me. But it happens.
The girls get the same, don't they? When they turn up and
obviously,
it's like
100%.
Where's your dad or where's your brother who's coming to do the job? And you just think, like, because if it was me, and somebody turned up at my house, I don't care as long as somebody does the job, and gets it done quick.
Do you
know what I mean? I literally don't care. But when like you're telling me stories of that, and then I don't know, like Rattle Kings is a female bricklayer or something like that. You're thinking like,
other than that, that's the rise. So my thing now is I'm a plumber, a heating engineer, but I'm also a content creator. So I enjoy creating content. I've seen a lot of Pete stuff back in the day that inspired me to do a lot of stuff. This Pete has inspired me to be a bit more me online, if that makes sense. But predominantly, like now, I just want to show the work off if I can, what I do, because I get a lot of work from showing my work and in being actually who I am as an individual, rather than trying to be what you think people want you to be.
But you are different because you're really creative in what you create a video. Like mine would be, here's the job. Maybe I'm explaining the job, but yours is like, you're really into your tech.
I love it.
And you're great at editing things together. You're probably doing things that I've not really seen anyone do before.
That's the plan. That's it. Because you know what it is right now? See, we're doing this right now. And I used to do pirate radio on top of my tower block. I don't know if you've seen the program, People Just Do Nothing. Right? And that was me. This is it. So we used to have a decks, DJ, everyone was MCing, people was smoking, you know what I mean, drinking or whatever. And that's but it was creative. We had no money, so that's what we did. We just mixed.
I think it was Hot 102 I used to listen to. And what was the drum and bass one?
Do you know what? I don't even know. It's so long ago, I don't even know.
It was the drum and bass one I used to listen to.
So when I was a kid, and I was born in 1982. Right. We had a CB radio.
Oh, yeah.
And you every now and then we'd listen to sorts of truck drivers.
Right.
And we thought that was amazing.
This is what I'm saying.
You got some truck drivers and some kids, like 8-9-year-old kids, just giving them over a CB radio.
I used to do that.
That's like calling people, isn't it? You know?
But you used to see people
knock door run. You can't even do that anymore.
Yeah.
You can't even knock and run because everyone's got a Ring video doorbell.
You used to see cars driving around with a massive aerial sticking out the back of the car. You don't see that anymore, do you?
And the coat hangers when they broke the aerial off.
Always on a Cortina, that was, wasn't it?
True. To be fair,
Showing our age there, mate.
So that MCing stuff, like,
with the ones and two, all Titans at the place. It's MC Swifty.
Do you really like
it? You know what I mean? So I know up here, it's a slightly different view. You lot had cows and stuff and that. But we, anyone outside the M25, we're like, it's just sheep and goats. So now I'm being racist to Northerners.
To be fair, the further up north you go, you see
that?
But in Birmingham here, we're almost like the child of the UK because people from down south think you're from up north. Up north. And then people from up north are like, you're from down south.
Right. Like, so you're just in between.
We're like we're in
one or the other, are you?
We're in purgatory. We're like the child. No one wants us. Nobody wants us. Ladies and gents, just a quick one to say a huge thank you to our new headline sponsor, CT1, the best sealants on the market, voted for by the British public. Not only that, it's made in Britain as well. So go and support a product and a brand that is made in the UK. But I just want to say to you, they've got a brand new product out, which is the BT1. It's a combination sealant and adhesive like the popular CT1, but it's perfect for keeping a hygienic environment. And it's designed to completely stop the growth of bacteria, microbes, and fungus. And not only that, this stuff is strong. Now, it's going to be available at Travis Perkins, Wickes, Jewson's, and pretty much everywhere else, so there's no excuse not to go and give it a go. So we're really happy to be partnering with CT1.
But I just wanted to add one thing. Like, I used to really struggle with swimming. And then I met a guy called Pete, PB, and he showed me how to swim. I thought you were
going to say he put me in the deep end.
We went to ECA, Izmir in Turkey, right?
Yeah.
And
is this all you lot jumping off the back of that boat with pointy going?
Yeah, but listen to this. So he's convinced me that he doesn't know how to swim. And I will believe anything anyone tells me until they give me a reason.
You
not
were
to
in those
believe
speedos as well, weren't you?
Shut up. So he told me he don't know how to swim, so I'm trying to give him advice. I swim 4 times a week, so I'm trying to give him advice, and he sat there with a deadpan, straight face. I'm trying to give him swimming tips, and then I arranged for us to go to the beach, and we're playing volleyball in the beach, and my eyes are on Tyson, so I'm thinking, I hope you don't get in trouble. And then all of a sudden, he breaks into a perfect front crawl. Starts swimming.
Before that, though, you didn't add, he was holding me up like a baby in the water. His hand did struck my bum a little bit. I did make me feel a bit uncomfortable.
Did you like
and
it?
I go, oh, PB's touching my bum. And he was holding me up, and he goes, just breathe. Just out like that. And I was like, oh, okay, this is great.
Tyson, where did he touch you?
Yeah. And this is how you swim.
But yeah, sweet. Yeah. That's that, really.
Should we go over to...
Me? All right, then. What do you want to know? Talk to me.
Start with how you got into the trade.
Can you swim?
Well, yeah. I mean, originally I wanted to be a doctor, but my dad turned around and said, "You ain't being a doctor. You're gonna be a labourer or in the trades." That's what he said. That's what happened.
Really?
No, not really.
He's had a bit of his own medicine. For sure.
Yeah, my old man, he turned around to me. He said, "You got to get a trades," because I was bumming about doing all these like rubbish jobs, working in a factory, 8 till 5:30, then maybe going and get a job in Tesco's and that, just bumming it. Do you know what I mean? My old man said to me from school, he said, "You're not going to sixth form because all you're going to do is doss about." Yeah. So then I got a job and dossed about. So basically that's what I did. And then where I used to be like a semi-pro footballer, I used to play for a pub football team.
I'm waiting for him to go.
Like, yeah.
Laying Orient.
Yeah. So I used to play for a team, and then my mate, I walked out of a job and I was jobless, and my mate turned around to me, he said, "Do you want to come and work with us?" They were flat bashing at the time in Hackney, and I didn't even know what plumbing was. Do you know what I mean? Really, like as 20, I'd never even considered it. Do you know what I mean? And when my dad used to say, "You need to get a trade," I was like, I don't know what he's on about. I ain't got a clue what he's talking about. Just go. I just see it as.
Was your old man in trade?
No, he was blind, wasn't he? He was blind.
Oh, he's not joking. He was.
No, did you not know that? Yeah, my old man was blind.
Did
you not know?
No, he's
Didn't
blind.
see that. No pun intended. Didn't see that one coming.
Oh, wow. Oh, Lord.
Pete.
His dad was blind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just said he didn't see that one coming.
I said
That's all right.
I said you didn't see that one coming.
That's all right. I do a set on it. Don't worry about it.
Mate.
It's all right, mate. All right.
We've had it all tonight.
Yeah, no,
you touching his package.
No, he's blind. My mum and dad are both blind. I feel like I'm going into me set now.
Yeah, you are.
You know what I mean?
Might as well do it.
No, both my mum and dad are blind. So I'm an only child. So they was advised not to have any more kids because probably in the 70s, 79, disabled people having children, blind people, they was probably they told them that it was hereditary. So they decided not to.
Genuine now.
Genuine, I'm not winding you up. No, I'm not winding you up. Yeah. So they told them really that they shouldn't have any more kids because it was hereditary. My dad suffered from something called retinoblastoma, which is cancer of the retina. Right. So he had both his eyes removed by the age of 4. My mum was premature. I'll take after her in that respect. Got to get a little joking in it. But she was premature in the 50s, yeah, so she had too much oxygen, and that burnt the optic nerve. So they both met, they had me, and yeah, I was brought up by 2 blind parents. So when I got to my dad was very hands-on, to be fair. Like, he was a very practical man. He could do electrics in the house. He turned his hand to plumbing and all that sort of stuff. He worked in a factory. He actually worked for Meissen, like Meissen's. Yeah. So we used to have a factory in where I live in Ongar. It was called Meissen's was the factory, and he actually worked there as one of the I don't know what he'd done there, putting components together and stuff like that.
Some of people's backstories you don't realise, do you?
Yeah. See, there's no excuse there, then, is it? Remember I was talking about excuses?
Yeah. No, do you know what I mean? So he worked as like in putting stuff together in the factory, and that one of the operatives in the factory, like we see in these days around the factories now. And then I think the factory either closed or whatever. Then he worked for a bank as a blind telephonist, because back in the day, before you had all these call centres and that, the banks used to have their own operator, if you like, and that was mainly blind telephonists. And it was an actual trade for like blind people. They used to go to college to, I think it was in Heverset where they went, somewhere like that, and they would train to work the phone systems within the banks. So a lot of my dad's friends were working in the banking area as the telephonists, but then as the call centres came in, then they didn't need him anymore. Do you know what I mean? So he then had to try and retrain, but unfortunately, by a couple of years after he left the bank, he contracted cancer again and sadly passed away. But but I managed to get a trade before he died. So on his deathbed, he turned around to me and he said that how proud he was that I'd actually got into plumbing. Do you know what I mean? Yes, I started plumbing in the October, and I think he'd gone in the May. Yeah, it was the May that he died. So yeah.
Yeah, my granddad was a plumber, and he died in 1999. So I was still at school, so he never knew that I became a plumber, which is probably one. Well, I can't regret it because
but you've
used his benders as well, didn't you?
Yeah, it would have been nice if he'd known that I'd gone into the same career as him. But at least your dad.
Well, he died. My dad died 1 year after your granddad, so year 2000. I lost my dad just before my 21st birthday. So yeah, and that's how I got into the trades. Just like that.
I don't know what to say now, because you bloody wound me up with all the jokes, and there's me thinking he's winding me up. I'm like,
but that's the thing. So
put some respect on his name.
I've gone from.
It's emotional. Where
do we go from here?
I can't keep up. You've got
a cup of tea.
Yeah, blown my mind.
So
to be fair though, this is the reason like I enjoy doing these, because people talk to each other online.
Yeah.
And you never actually get to like hear the backstory of somebody's life, basically.
Yeah. Comedy.
So you get into plumbing.
Get into plumbing. Do that for a few years. End up hating it. Not gonna lie. I don't enjoy it anymore.
All of it, or is it?
Listen, I play off it, don't I? I mean, I've done it for 23 years now, and probably not been as successful as I should have been at it. Do you know what I mean? I've just plodded along.
Yeah.
I had a family, kids, and all that, and this, that, and the other. Then obviously got into social media. Just basically, I think social media, because you come along and it gets a bit monotonous, doesn't you? And you get bored with your trade, and social media comes along and it opens up a new avenue to it, didn't you? I mean, I got into it watching you, like on YouTube. You know, I was watching a video. I probably learned more off of him than I did at college. You know what I mean? But you watch these people on, and I've got into it, and I thought to myself, I started. I think I got on Twitter first within COVID.
Yeah.
Through a mate of ours,
Vile on there, isn't it?
Yeah. A mate got me into it on there, Dean Torres.
Baptism, I loved Dean.
Yeah, he got us into it because he's an old mate of mine. We used to flat bash together.
Yeah. So Dean was on when I first joined Twitter. Dean was on then, and he was like, because it's when you started on Instagram, you come into like a community, don't you? You make all your mates. Right, but Dean was one of the original people that I would consider a mate. Because you're talking to them every day.
Yeah.
And they do become. Like I'm in a group chat with guys from all over the country, and you do talk to them more.
You do, yeah.
You've got more in common.
We were saying it on the way up here. Yeah. It's like your real, like not your real friends, but the friends that you necessarily grew up with on the estate and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, I still talk to them, but I don't see them as much. But we're still mates, but people you've got common interest with.
Yeah.
then you will associate yourself with and spend more time with them just because you're in that sort of like niche, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Different friends for different things.
Well, it's like that when you have kids.
Exactly.
Some of your mates that haven't got kids, you just think you've got no idea.
Yeah, it doesn't have a clue.
They'll get a dog, wouldn't they? And they'll think it's the same as having a kid. And
They're like, how come you're late to meet me? And you're thinking, bloody hell.
Yeah.
Like,
You'll be
trying to get out the door.
We didn't get to sleep last night.
He hasn't even got kids and he's so late.
Yeah, Pete ain't got
Oh my
Hey,
you always say
I've got a cat.
people with kids.
He's always late because of the.
Do you think that's easy? Do you think that's easy being a cat owner?
People with kids will always go, wouldn't they? They'll always go to somebody who ain't got kids. I can't wait till you have kids. Do you know what I mean? I cannot wait, and you'll experience it. But yeah, nice.
All your mates going, your life's over.
Yeah,
that's all you get.
No, it's great. It's great.
Starts again.
It's great. It's different, isn't it? It's just completely different. But so got into the old socials, and then I thought doing it all. I used to try to do a few tech videos and serious videos in the beginning on Instagram and that, and used to do the pipe work and all that malarkey. But then I thought to myself, well,
you think that's what people want?
Yeah,
exactly.
You start being yourself. Well, I certainly did. Started being myself and having a bit of banter as I would on site, because we're all on site and trade banter is like, it's massive, isn't it? It's that what gets you through the day. So I thought to myself, I'll just be a little bit different and just probably act the way I would on site. Say a few things. Some of the things you probably wouldn't, do you know what I mean? Some you shouldn't probably say, but I've said them and done them, but owned them, and it's just about having a laugh. And then, so from that, I thought to myself, the amount of reaction I was getting off of it from people, they're going, "Oh, you should go into comedy. Do you know what I mean? You should do this, you should do that." And I thought to myself, well, I don't know what to. I thought to myself, I'm quite creative, so I thought I'd like to write something. Like I'm going, my brain's spinning now. I'd like to write something. I'd like to write a sitcom or something stupid like that. Looked into writing because I wanted another avenue, like creative avenue. Looked into writing. Writing. If you went to college and you was going to do university, sorry mate. Sorry mate. I'm not a pro like you, am I? Sorry,
just
mate.
watch these.
I'm very animated, isn't I?
Pete smashed someone up last time.
I'm surprised he hasn't gone. It's because he's been away for a bit. He's like, yeah, I have to do marathons now. I'm relaxed. Chilling. I've got
does
medals.
He do marathons, does he?
I don't really talk about it, mate.
We'll get back into it, God.
Yeah, no, so I was going to, where was that? Go writing courses and that. If you was to go on a writing course, write comedy, it can cost thousands of pounds. And what happened was, I suppose, through the cookies on the phone, what your phone listens to and that, I was on Facebook one day and a course come up. It was like a stand-up workshop course. And the guy who was doing it, I'd already seen online. Like, he's like really in the comedy circuit. He's massive, and he was doing his course. And I looked at it, and it was like 250 quid. I thought, 6-week course, once every Sunday. I was going through a bit of crap at the time as well, and I thought, I want to do that because it's like, you know, meeting new people, having another, even just to write jokes or whatever. Went and done it, and then loved it. You'd end up doing a showcase at the end. You come along, didn't you? It was mental. Like there was how many people was there? It must be
loads.
150
in the creek. Up the creek,
up the creek. Yeah. There's about 150 people done it and got the buzz for it, and just was like, yeah, this is me. And the set was built off of me mum and dad, off of the upbringing side of it. Obviously, I mean things are elaborated and that, but
have you got any better jokes than him over here? He's dad jokes.
He's got dad jokes.
Do you want me to tell something now that'll make you
Go on.
You know, you talk about this course.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'd quite like to get into?
Ballet.
You know, you have like local theatre groups, and they put on plays.
Amateur
I would
dramatics.
love to do amateur dramatics.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Well,
I think he would find that hilarious.
I used to
serious?
I used to study.
Yeah,
Yeah, why
I've
not?
always wanted to do that.
Do it.
What is that? I don't even know what that is.
They'll do like a comedy play, and you'll
Right.
have a role. Like you'll be the inspector.
As long as he's
or
not,
the-
Really?
as long as he's not in panto, he's behind you. You can do that.
The thing is, though,
I was
how long you
swimming,
wanted
he's
to do that
behind
for?
last 10 years.
Why
or
ain't you
so.
done it?
I ain't got time because I'm running
Just
marathons.
because you ain't got time. Not through what other people would think.
No. Just
No.
if I had the time.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like I want to learn to draw like Quentin Blake style drawings, and I want to
Yeah.
learn to play the piano and.
Because
Drawing.
Yeah. But if I had time.
Because when I was growing up, like 16, 17, I wanted to get into acting. Do you know what I mean? I wanted
Yeah,
to
he
get
actually
into
did.
it.
Yeah, actually did. Yeah.
But because of the peer group I was with, And they're like, what do you want to do that for? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't as animated or as
This
loud
is
or as
it.
confident back
This is
then.
it.
Do you
Well,
know what I mean?
your mates take the don't they?
Yeah.
So it's-
Yeah,
This is it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
family.
This is a new one for Trade Legends. Is we go and film you doing some amateur dramatics.
That'd be brilliant,
Or your
wouldn't it?
hands, because you started learning how to do handstands, didn't you?
But I actually done later on in life. I actually went to Sylvia Young and done an adult course because I was getting into. I started doing coming through the wife actually. Because I said to her about it, that I wanted to do it, and she said, "Well, do it. Like go in." My daughters was signed up to an agency. I signed up to the agency. I got on a few adverts and stuff like that, and I thought, this is pretty good. I might have to take this a bit seriously, and I actually went and done. I think it was about another 6 or 7 week course at Sylvia Young, just for. And I tell you what, talk about out of your comfort zone. It's like you're like a plumber, like 30-odd-year-old plumber, and you walk into this place, and it's full of these like arty,
Elegant.
dramatic people, like sort of thing. And the first thing they tell you, you're not used to that, and they turn around to you.
And say,
You've
"Stop
never met
banging your
anyone.
hand on the.
Sorry, stop banging your hand on the thing. All right, mate, pro. Keep cutting in, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry, mate.
They've got you walking around a room pretending to be a fish.
I've got to go and film.
It was meant.
gotta
And
go.
I'm like none of these people you've met, but it's all about losing your inhibitions.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah,
Go on,
it's
give
an
us your
experience.
Give us your best fish.
Just made me think of. Remember Big Brother? What was that? MP politician who did the cat.
George,
George
Galloway,
Galloway,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Oh my god! Imagine doing that.
Jesus.
I can't get that out of my head.
cat.
Yeah, I remember that.
Keeps me awake at night.
Imagine if your cat turned into George Galloway.
So you do your online course. No, not online course. You do your course once a Sunday for 6 weeks. Say.
Yeah.
Then you do. At the end of that is
Done a
everyone's got to do a
showcase,
show.
Yeah. You don't have to, but yeah, we all did it. Yeah. So,
And then
from there you're on your own, and you just book gigs. You get small gigs, like a lot of them, and a lot of people don't like it. Like bringer gigs they call them. You have to bring somebody with you to make up the audience. So a lot of people don't like doing it. There's a lot of pressure because you imagine you keep asking the same mates to come along and see the same shit jokes you're telling. It's really hard to get people to come in the end.
Yeah.
So I'd done a lot of gong shows where you've got like
Savage.
you've got a minute grace on some of them. Some of them are 2 minute grace, or some of them are no grace at all. So I've done a few of them. I've done the Comedy Store, lasted about a minute and a half, and it was like a rabbit in the headlights. It's just it's just like you're just standing there waiting for them to kick you off. And I remember what the guy said, like the MC. He went, "That was Pete Withers with no jokes." Oh mate!
But to be fair though, it takes balls to go and do something like that, I don't know.
Yeah, it's. I think again.
So when are we signing you up?
and is it like anything else? It's the more you do it, the better you get.
Not in my case. I had a stinker the other night, but the thing was because my mentor, if you like, he was on the same gig as me because he's just gone big time now on Instagram and he's touring now. So this was his last. I think it was his last smaller gig, and I wanted to impress. And it didn't. it went a bit wrong. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And after he give me some constructive criticism and all that. Actually, it was a good thing to go on because I can now say that I've actually gigged with him, which is like it was good.
And his gag's quite good as well.
Oh
isn't it?
yeah,
his gag's brilliant.
Yeah, his gag is good, and that's involving
racial
stuff. Yeah,
that's why we love
brilliant.
it.
Yeah.
So when you put your obviously doing the stand up, you've moved that over to your Instagram content where you do your sort of, do you call them skits in the van where you see your pieces in the van? And I always think about this because obviously comedy is subjective. Some people find something's funny depending on the sense of humour. So you're going to put something out down the middle. These guys are going to laugh at it, but these guys aren't. So that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself because we know social media is about likes.
You know what? Yeah,
you put a joke out there. If it doesn't get many likes, is that like going on? Is that like getting a gong?
But I don't care. Yeah. Like that's the thing with me. I really don't care what people think, And that's the thing. I'll put something out there. If it works, it works. If it don't, it doesn't. And I'll look back on it. And sometimes some of the skits that I've done or some of the things I've done, I've actually put to stage. But you could do a joke one night on like a set, and it absolutely, you crush it and it goes really good. Yeah. But then you do it on the next night for a different audience, and it's just falls flat on its arse. It's like it's really hard to.
Depends how much time you put into it.
Especially if you're green. See me, a lot of people work to a script or they'll rehearse a lot. And I will never rehearse. It's terrible. That's why I'm not getting where I'm getting at the moment. So I went to a small workshop the other week, and the guy turned around to us. He goes, "It's all about you." A lot of comedians will write little notes on their hands, and he won't have it. He's like, I won't have it, because he's even gone up to people before and he's rubbed the notes off their hands while they're in. They get through it, but what it is, he said, what you notice is, even though the notes ain't there, they're still going like this.
Glancing,
because it's a muscle memory, And he said, if you're in your van and you're practicing is different to rehearsal, because practicing, you're in your van. So when you're up there, if you do a proper rehearsal, you know where your arms and how you're walking is, that's your muscle memory, and it will help you remember the lines. Yeah. But if you're in your van, like, how do I remember this bit? Oh, I'm going to change gear. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like that. Yeah. So I should rehearse more, but I don't. And a lot of the time I do free will, and that's why, you know what I mean? That's why I'm not getting...
And your content's getting a bit more daring as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is getting more daring. I like doing the content. I love doing the content. And I love, if I get a joke at the sets, at the gigs that does well, then I'll clip it out and then I'll put it out there, just because, you know, just for variation as well.
Do we need a best, give us your best gag?
Oh, really? It's like, well...
What's your favourite joke?
The one that works, and I've told it before, is, right, so my mum and dad are blind, right? So I'd used to play jokes on my dad, right? Now, have you ever had a book, right? You've got a book, and you tear the back page out of it and you put it in the thing, because for the next person who reads it, story's fucked, innit? Yeah? Well, I used to do this to my dad's braille books, right? But I put a slightly different spin on it. I'd get the iron out and just give it a little run over.
Wow. That is bad.
It's bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It works, that one, though. It does work. What's the other ones?
People like that stuff that's like...
slightly
just on the edge, isn't it? Right, Frankie Barr's pretty bad with that. He's like right on the edge with stuff.
I said, well, the other night I did one and it did all right. So I went to the gig with my dad's cane. I bought it as like a prop, and I went up on stage and I went, this is what my dad left, or this is what I got from my dad when he died. And people was like, oh, I went, I probably shouldn't have taken it off him on that train platform, and they and it erupted that night, but the other night it didn't. So it's like, but that was one that
depends how woke they are in the crowd.
Literally. I mean, I worked that one on the night that I'd done it. I made it up that night just because of somebody in there had mentioned their dad had passed away and that he'd left her a chain. So I thought, I've got the stick. Well, let's work with it, see if it worked. And it did. That night it worked, but obviously not here.
You've got to try it, haven't you? You've got to try it.
So, ladies and gents, I want to say a big thank you to one of our show sponsors, which is Tradify. Now, most of you will probably already have heard of Tradify, and it's an app that will help you streamline your business. It will save you time, invoicing, quotes, all that sort of thing. It's all in there. So if you want to spend more time on the tools and less time doing the paperwork, which, frankly, nobody likes doing paperwork, Tradify is the app for you. Now, if you click this link above, you're going to get yourself a 14-day free trial. And because we are confident, just as much as Tradify are, you don't even need to enter any payment details to get that free trial. But if you enter code TradeLegends, you'll get a massive 50% off for the first 3 months when you subscribe. So stop wasting your time and get back on the tools and save yourself a bit of time in the process and some money. Should we go into... final thoughts?
Yeah.
Should we do a bit of that? So basically, round about this time is we get you to give any advice, or like if you want to plug yourselves, you can do that. What else? What else could they do?
Just like I always say, if anyone's ever given you like a life lesson that you think you want to pass that knowledge on to other people, if there's anything you've not mentioned yet, you think the message you want to get across.
Yeah. Who's going first?
You can.
Right, okay.
I've got a dry mouth now.
Yeah, so I don't normally give life advice. I'm going to this time. So if you're with your missus and you've got kids and you want a happy life, just let them do what they got to do and just go. And that's it. Just keep
smile
it
and
simple.
wave.
Just smile and wave. Yep. You know what? Happy wife, happy life. It's so true. Just humble yourself. You don't need to let them have it straight away. Just chill. And then come back and she'll be fine in a bit. Because otherwise your relationship will be over. if you just go backwards and forwards. But no, but seriously, plumbing wise, from my side, I've become a plumber and a gas heating engineer and a content creator. If you want your work and business to do well, get yourself out there online and show your work off if it's good. And if you feel like it's good enough to get it out there, you'll get loads of work. And you might even get some sweet deals and you might get to swim with PB. But my name's Tyson. I'm a plumber content creator, Fairway Heating and Plumbing. Hit me up on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram.
It's like he's back on Pirate Radio.
With a month until.
But
Live and direct.
Yeah. But and then don't let race stop you from achieving what you need to achieve. So whether you're white, black, Indian, whatever, don't let that hold you back. Because like say Pete's dad was blind and he cracked on. So don't let any of that hold you back and crack on with it. And that's it. From my side, yeah.
Pete? I'd say don't let anyone, and it's an old cliche, don't let anyone tell you can't do something or try and talk you out of something that you think you might be able to have a chance at. Even if you fail at it, at least you've given it a go. Do you know what I mean? That's all I'd say. If you've got a deep passion, like we was talking about earlier, I'd say I wanted to be an actor or whatever. I want to do comedy. And a lot of people say the first thing anyone will ever say to you when you do comedy is like, "Well, you got to be funny to do that." Do you know what I mean? You get that is the thing you get all the time. Do you know? Or it might be just me. I don't know. but don't let anyone put you off it, because you'll only regret it later on in life. And I know that's a really old piece of advice, but it's a really strong piece of advice. Do you know what I mean?
I keep thinking about, I don't know who said it, but it's the 6-month thing. So you start today. If you want to be a comedian or if you want to take up a trade, 6 months from now, if you start today, you could be what you want to be, or you could have 6 months worth of excuses why you didn't do it.
Yeah.
And I love that because it applies to everything. It applies to my running training. I start running in 6 months, I'll be a better runner, or I got 6 months of excuses and I still can't run.
It's true. Yeah.
And you can apply that to every aspect of your life. So if you want to do something, give yourself 6 months. Start today or start tomorrow. It's the weekend. And who knows where you could be in 6 months, or you will be 6 months worth of excuses.
It's true.
Which one would you rather have?
It's true. I've stopped knocking around people like that.
It's like the Oracle, isn't it?
Excuses around you. I just have to get away from it. Everyone on my estate was like that.
Anyway, my name's Plumber Tails. Follow me on TikTok. Instagram. Don't forget me.
I'm waiting for him to be like the angel Gabriel in the Nativity.
I like it though because it's inspiring you to do better.
Yeah.
Because you're only here once. You've only got a limited amount of time. Yeah. Why not? Try and do the best you can.
But stuff like that, the dramatics for you, I actually think it'd be a good thing because you could slightly introvert as well. So actually it'll bring you, get you to.
I think it'd be a good thing. I think, if you want to do it, you got to do it.
I was speaking to someone this about the other day. I'm very, obviously I do this podcast and I've got my Instagram, but I'm in my lane. I'm talking about plumbing. Yeah. And I would love to have a fitness page, but I'm not confident enough to do it. Yeah. But I am very selfish. Like I do what I want to do. If I want to go for a run tomorrow, I'm going for a run and nothing will stop me. Yeah. And you could say it's selfish, but it's also discipline and it's dedication for my goals.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just do, like you do your day in the life of a plumber? Like a week,
but again, it's time. It's time. And
but you call it selfish. Why is it being selfish?
Because I am, even now, I'm thinking about what I'm training at the gym after this. Yeah. I'm not thinking, should I go for a beer with the boys? But it's only because, it's not because you're not my mates, and I would, but it's because I've got these goals and I'm so focused on it. I know tonight I'm training legs, I'm doing half an hour on the bike and I'm doing some abs.
But that's for you.
Did you just say he's training legs?
Did he? Oh yeah. You started them now, have you?
First day, in 6 months, I might have some legs.
He's going to have one leg.
But that's my life is.
You've inspired him tonight to train legs.
Yeah, isn't it? But that's the thing. Each person, everyone's like, oh, I don't want to be seen doing this, or don't want to be seen doing that. You're not that much of a big deal. Yeah. People don't actually care. I don't even mean you, but I'm saying in general. You're not that much of a big deal. People don't really care that much about you.
People are too busy with themselves.
This is it. And you're sitting there thinking, oh no, I'm gonna be seen doing that. Just do it. Get on with it. Who cares? Do it. Do you know what I'm saying? If you want to be in a play, be in a play. If you want to be a comedian, a crap one, do a picture. Just do it. Get it done. This podcast, you started it. People are going to say, etc., etc. You're pushing through with it. Just get it done. You know what I'm saying?
If you like listening to Al talk over all the guests, if you've enjoyed this episode of Trade Legends, listening to Al talk over everybody else and people banging on the desk, if you've enjoyed listening to and watching today, you're fucking gonna just stay still, one space just for a minute.
If you've enjoyed watching this, blah 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 blah.
Right, 3, 2, 1, go.
So I'll just not do it.
Go.
Yeah, you sure? I'm gonna shut up for just like a minute. If you've enjoyed listening and watching today's Trade Legends podcast, please subscribe to our channel. It will really help us out. We're a new podcast. We want to do big things, and you subscribing, hitting the little bell so you get notifications, would be just great. Thank you.
Hitting the little bell. I was like, yeah, ding, 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 ding.
There is a little bell in there.